This building was the Florida Industrial School for Girls. It was the East Hall, built in 1936. Today it is the Ocala Historical Museum. Let's go on inside and take a tour of the museum.
Near the front entrance is an old piano, Gale and Company. This is a 35-star flag. These are a few items from the Greg Gordon collection. Including a lot of medicine bottles, some dark glass, some old bones, including a pair of mammoth ribs. Also a mammoth jaw and a mastodon tooth. Mammoth femur and a matching femur. Really nice specimen of a Indian dugout canoe and some reproductions of Jacques Lemoyne prints of Timucuan Indians. This is the Henderson collection of artifacts with a really large St. John's plain bowl. And some patterned pottery. Some more fiber, tempered, and sized, punctuated pottery. Some prehistoric tools, including some adze and a scraper. Large collection of arrowheads. And various animal squirrels, tortoiseshell from prehistoric times. And corn was a staple of the Seminoles and Timucuan diets. And we have an otter here. A bobcat. And a coyote. The chiefdom of Ocala during the time of De Soto's explorations. Now the present day site of Ocala. Making stone tools. And artifacts of a recently rediscovered Spanish mission, Santa Lucia de Ocora. '18th century Spanish artifacts. Forged iron hasp and lock catch. Kettle, a spoon, and a probably Seminole blanket. Seminole blouses. In the American territorial period. Let's take a look at some of these artifacts, probably from Fort King. On the right is a forged door hinge and a cut spike forged chain and a forged hammer. Inkwells, bunch of fragments of pottery, and a 1840 Potsdam 69 smoothbore. This is a Civil War or Seminole War era cannonball. Flintlock pistol, dated between the 1820s to 1840s. And some ball shot. Civil War era binoculars and bayonet. Various stamped letters from the Civil War Confederate uniform. Civil War Southern Soldiers uniform. A nurse uniform. This was worn by Margaret Hawker Kemp while serving as a Gray Lady in the service of the American Cross during the 20th century. It looks like it could be a 1930s living room. The rocking chair, big radio. It says it's an early 1940 Coronado model multi-band radio. And next to it is a wheelchair. On the right, another wheelchair with a quilt. And some baby dolls. Navy uniforms on the right. An old baby stroller. A hanging scale. An original counter scale from 1934. And a Minnesota sewing machine. And an old radio. A country dress. Big anvil made in England in 1879. Keg. Some machinery wrench. Some old farm implements, a couple old jugs. Automatic water register and case. And an old chest with a early 20th century quilt. This is an ice shaver. That's interesting. This ice would be shipped in blocks. It's the Atlantic Ice Company in Ocala. These are from the Ocala Bottling Works. Old spinning wheel. And a surveying kit. Artifacts from a place known as Scramble Town. It's a boiler on the right and a worm box condenser on the left. Various artifacts here. A butter press with pineapple carved mold from 1885 and a butter churn from the late 1800s, early 1900s. And various tools. And a vintage wooden bookbinding press. This is a scale model of the WH4 homestead. And a collection of old jugs, various sizes. Old poster of the nearby Silver Springs boat tours, glass bottom boats.